Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Camilla and I make videos all about content creation, social media, entrepreneurship, and more. Today, I'm going to take you on a journey of all of the jobs I've had in my 20s. I turned 27 last month. In terms of career, I feel like my 20s have been a roller coaster of not knowing what I want to do to switching career paths. I think for a lot of people, your 20s are just that decade or era that you just are figuring things out. Honestly, in a lot of these jobs, I always questioned myself or honestly hated my life or my circumstances just because I was never really doing what I wanted to do. Let's start at me being 20 years old. At the time, I was still in university. I didn't graduate till I was 22. I did hold a part-time job in university. I was a server or a waitress. I was actually serving at a hotel. The hotel was actually the Holiday Inn. So when I say hotel, it wasn't even like a nice hotel. Of course, like most serving or waitressing jobs, I was making minimum wage, which at the time, because this would have been 2017, and I was making about, I believe, $14 an hour plus tips. And my tips at the hotel were not that good. I was on average making around $20 an hour, which for a 20-year-old is really not that bad. It wasn't a crazy intensive waitressing job. Like, the restaurant was never really super busy, or at least not busy all the time. I wanted to waitress for the tips, but I didn't want to work at a crazy busy restaurant. Anyways, I think that's how a lot of women and girls and boys get into working, or their first jobs are usually in the restaurant industry. Let's fast forward to 2019. I was 22 years old and I had just graduated university with a Bachelor of Arts degree. I don't really like talking about my degree because I do not use it. It's kind of just like a thing that I have. I had a concentration in the tourism and hospitality space. Now you can see maybe also why I was working or waitressing at a hotel. It's because I was just in that industry and I was also studying it, like tourism and travel and tourism management, hotel management, and so on. Right after I graduated university, I actually got my first salaried position. It was the Hilton Garden Inn. I worked at the front desk. I was making literally minimum wage again, so this job did not pay well. You're literally standing on your feet all day for your 8-hour shift or more. I remember we asked for the floor to have like those comfy mats on the bottom, so it actually, so you're not standing on hard floor. And I remember management just saying, no, we can't get you these cushioned mats. Yeah, the first few days of my shift, my feet killed. A lot of the time I was wearing uncomfy shoes as well, like flats or dress shoes, because even though you're getting paid minimum wage, you still have to look good. I did not last long at the front desk of that hotel. It was a very unfulfilling job, very repetitive. Of course, there comes like the interesting guests and the interesting stories. Other than shifts like those, or other than like special guests that you have conversations with, honestly, just a pretty boring job in my opinion. That was my hotel. I know some other hotels are actually busy, like they're in the cities. My hotel was off of the highway in my small hometown. Since I disliked my job so much, I was looking for a way out, and my dad helped guide me in the direction of working in insurance. He's been an insurance broker his entire life. He kind of helped me find out about the industry, and back then I feel like it was so easy to get a job, not like today's job market. So I just created a resume. Literally all I had on there was my front desk experience and waitressing plus my degree. And then my first job in insurance, I was an underwriting assistant. At the time I was still 22 years old. With this job I had a salary and benefits. I was making $40,000 a year. This is also all in Canadian dollars. I think just based off of today's conversion rate, that would be like 30,000 USD. So not a lot of money, but for a 22-year-old just recently graduated out of university, it was a pretty good gig. It was a super stable and cushiony job, just like a job at the bank or something like that. It It was so much better than the job working at the front desk. This insurance job felt like an actual white collar job. I had really great benefits. I had a yearly increase in salary plus end of the year bonus. Like, they treat you well. I stayed there for 2 years, and though it was really great in the beginning, like any person who wants to grow out of a job or just grow within themselves, I wanted something more. I didn't know what that really was, but this job once again started to become boring. I hate to use the word boring, but a lot of the things I was doing once again was very repetitive, and I just felt like I was looking at documents all day. By the end of those 2 years, this was when I met my current fiance, and a lot of things in my life were changing, and I just felt like my job was one thing that I wanted to change. My dad was crushed when I left insurance. It was something we really got to talk about and bond over, but I just knew this industry wasn't for me. And I think a big sign of knowing something isn't for you in any kind of job is looking at the people who are above you, like your supervisors, your managers, the VP. And I just realized I don't want their positions. And if I don't want their positions, why am I here? I mean, yes, it's great to have a nice cushiony job that gives you a paycheck, but it's not what I want to do. So I took the risk and I quit my job with not much of a backup plan other than finding a job at Pandora, the jewelry store. After 2 years of making a decent salary for my age, I went back to a minimum wage retail job. I had never done retail even in the past. I stayed there for 6 months. Yes, the Pandora job was a way to kind of escape my insurance job and still have some kind of income, but it was never my intention to actually stay long. So at that time, I was chasing bigger and better things. And after 6 months of doing retail, which I feel like in the retail world is actually pretty long, I ended up getting my first SaaS job. I went from making minimum wage to a $50K salary plus a bonus of $10,000 per year or $2,500 quarterly. So I almost doubled or tripled my income that I was making. This was really exciting for me because I feel like a couple years ago, working in SaaS and tech was like this new big thing. Everybody was doing it. There was so much hustle and bustle about making lots of money, and I definitely did see that because I was able to get a pretty good role. It was actually an account executive role, which is on the sales team, and I'm not even good at sales. And it was a relatively easy job to get. Once again, not like in today's job market. I don't want to say that I settled for this job, but it was not my ideal job. I was just really trying to get away from Pandora and actually start making some money again because I had gone too long making minimum wage. So I accepted this job at my first SaaS company. I will say the people there were really great, though it wasn't a fully remote role, which I was trying to get. And also my boyfriend at the time, my now fiance, he landed a fully remote job, and that was kind of like our vision, our goal. We both wanted to have 100% remote work. That was one of the biggest things that I didn't like about this job, on top of some others. I mean, that was not the only reason I started looking for other jobs. After a few months, I just realized this role is not really what I wanted. See, yeah, it is a roller coaster. So while working at my first SaaS company, I was still on the job market, just browsing at jobs, seeing what was out there. That's when I found my most recent SaaS company. After 4 months of being with the first SaaS company, I went to my second one where I was an account manager. This was a job that I could see myself at. I stayed for about a year and a half, which of course in like the grand scheme of things is not long, but I will tell you, this job did a number on me. I feel like I was there for so much longer than a year and a half because of how intense it was. I was also in the position of not really being able to keep changing jobs because I had done it too many times in the last year. I just realized it doesn't even matter if I don't like this job, I cannot get a new one. It also messes up with like your resume and just like with your head, like you need to stay somewhere, right? Fortunately, that wasn't an issue because I actually liked the job and I was like, okay, I can do this. I would work a solid 7 to 8 hours almost every day. I was in Zoom meetings and training groups of people every single day. Like, oh, and also I did increase my salary once again in this position. With my second SaaS company, I was making a base of $60,000 with a bonus of 15 to 20,000, making up to 80 grand a year. Only stayed for a year and a half because it was too much for me. Yes, it was really great to be making money. There are so many different reasons why I quit that job, but honestly, it was a little bit too intense and it wasn't my passion. I actually would have mental breakdowns after work sometimes because of how busy my days would be. It's a lot of stress on yourself. My team was also very small, so we all pulled a lot of weight, and I'm very grateful for the experience and for the team that, helped me grow in my position. And just as somebody in their 20s who is still growing, I'm grateful that they helped me learn and grow through a lot of things. After being in a not so good mental state, I decided to leave this SaaS role after about a year and a half. And when I quit, it was the scariest thing. So I have never quit a job without having another one lined up. Even when I quit my insurance job after 2 years, I had a retail job lined up. Even though it was minimum wage, it was still a job. But when I quit in the fall of 2023, leaving my up to $80,000 job, I had no plan B other than that I was making content on social media, which wasn't even paying me money. From $80,000 to $0 a month, just like a huge risk. My intention really was to just quit this SaaS job and take a break from all of the jobs that I've had. I have been working since I have been 17 years old. Like, I have never actually not worked in my life. Me having a very supportive partner, we made the decision, okay, I'm gonna quit my job. My plan was to start looking again in a few months, and that's when I started running into the trouble of not being able to get a job. It is just difficult to get a job right now. Employers don't even respond to you that you don't have the job. Honestly, in like a couple months of applying, I probably got like one interview and I didn't get it. I've looked for jobs in the past a lot, right? Like, I've always found it very easy to get jobs until the last year of me having all of this difficulty. And I went through so many months of just questioning, why did I quit my job? I shouldn't have done it because now I can't get a new one. And that was just really difficult on me mentally, financially. I was losing money every single month. I was just spending money, honestly, like out of my savings. Yes, I was having mental breakdowns because it just felt like insane to me that with years of professional work experience and a degree, I can't find a job. Despite finding it easier years ago with less experience, like, it was just crazy to me. If you've been following my channel, you'll know that I did find a job in February. I honestly just took this job because no one else was getting back to me. I just really wanted to get back to an actual paycheck because it was just so difficult to not have a job and not have other like streams of income for myself. So I did accept a job that was well below what I should have been making. And I'll be transparent here. The job literally was like $37,000 a year Canadian. And just to take in that this was less money than my job right out of university was, which was 40,000. So to be 26 years old making less than I was at 22 was a very difficult reality. There is a bright side to this. I didn't last in this job for more than 2 days and I ended up quitting because I just know my worth and I know I couldn't be at this place. So fast forward a few months, that is where we are today. If you have been following my journey and my channel, you will know that I create content, I create UGC, and I am doing it right now full time, and I'm making multiple 4-figure months doing it, working for myself, looking at freelancer work. I also recently just picked up a part-time social media manager role, actually through one of the agencies I was working with for UGC. They actually hired me, so it was kind of a networking type of opportunity that was presented to me, and I'm just getting started to work with them. It feels like for the first time in my life that I'm doing something that I actually enjoy, and my 20s have been such a journey of ups and downs through different jobs and industries. At the end of the day, all of those jobs did help make me what I am today, and they helped me understand what I like and what I don't like. Not being able to find a job this year really helped me work 10 times harder to actually try to make UGC a thing for myself. I am so grateful that it can now actually pay my rent, and just 6 months ago, I would never have imagined this. Yes, it is risky. I'm 27 years old. I don't have a secure, cushiony job or a recurring paycheck that I collect every 2 weeks. I don't have benefits. I don't have a lot of things, but what I do have is actual passion and joy for what I do. I wake up and I'm happy because I know I like what I do. There is also so much potential for making content that it could really go in so many different directions. You actually have the potential to earn more than you do in any 9-to-5 job. So if you're watching this and you're wondering where your career trajectory is going, it is totally okay and normal to change up what you want to do. Like, you're still figuring it out, and it may take you 1, 2, 3, 5, or 10 different jobs to finally figure out what you like to do, because it's what you'll be doing for the rest of your life, or at least until retirement. If you're still watching, I appreciate you. I hoped you liked my little story of all of the jobs I had in my 20s. It was really fun to share and actually just like remember myself, all of the different jobs that I've had, because you just remember so many things from each of them. If you liked this video, I'd appreciate it if you'd like it and subscribe to the channel to help support what I'm doing. But with that said, I will see you guys in the next one. Okay.